All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to ShareTech. I'm Rahul Trimukhe, M365 Solution Architect at Vodafone. Today, we're talking about Copilot Studio credential security changes that Microsoft is rolling out in 2026. I'll go heading by heading, nice and clear. First, what's changing in 2026? Microsoft is tightening how agents authenticate. Two main things. One, blocking maker-provided credentials starting around August 2026. And two, credential oversharing detection starting around September 2026. Those dates are Microsoft's current roadmap rollouts, so they could shift. We'll get into why this matters as we go. Next, the core problem is identity. Whose identity is the agent using? If an agent uses the maker's credentials, the backend sees the maker, not the person using the agent. That can expose data someone shouldn't see. Now, what are maker-provided versus end-user credentials? Maker credentials mean the agent uses the maker's stored identity. The request goes through as them. End-user credentials mean the request goes through as you, the actual person using the agent. That keeps your permissions in play. So, what is Microsoft changing? Admins can block makers from choosing maker-provided credentials. That pushes agents towards end-user authentication. When blocked, users might be prompted to sign in and actions will run under their identity. Second piece, credential oversharing detection. Microsoft plans to catch risky sharing scenarios before publishing. If an agent or flow relies on an unsafe identity, the platform will flag it, potentially block it. This is about shifting from build first, find out later to scan first, publish safely. Why this matters for AI agents? Agents don't just answer, they act. They call tools, trigger flows, read and write data. So identity is the security boundary. If that boundary is wrong, the agent could expose or change data in unintended ways. Let's make it concrete with the HR agent example. Imagine an employee asks for salary info. Unsafe design would use the HR manager's credentials, which could expose sensitive data. Safer design uses the employee's own identity, so normal authorization rules apply. Impact on Power Automate? Big one. If your agent triggers flows, pay close attention to which connections and identities those flows use. What happens when maker credentials are blocked? The user may have to sign in during the session. That works well for interactive agents. But for autonomous agents, schedule or background agents might fail because there's no human there to sign in. That's why you need to treat interactive and autonomous agents differently. For interactive, user sign-in is fine. For autonomous, plan authentication very carefully before enforcing blocks. Governance model. This is moving from the maker decides to the organization sets policy. Admins define what's allowed at the environment level and makers build inside those guardrails. This aligns with zero trust. Always verify, use least privilege, assume breach. Instead of trusting the agent because a trusted dev built it, we verify each request and identity. For developers, start by inventorying all authenticated tools and checking whose credentials they use. Prefer user context where you can and test autonomous scenarios separately. For admins, set environment policies, review identities and permissions, run security scans, and test before publishing. Bottom line, don't just ask what your agent can do, ask whose identity it's using. That's the key to secure enterprise agents. That's today's breakdown. Thanks for joining ShareTech. I'm Rahul Trimukhe. See you next time. If this was helpful, like, share, and subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments.